Greetings from Columbia, South Carolina, and welcome into the Colonial Life Arena. Happy holidays, everybody. The South Dakota Coyotes in their 25th ranking bring an 11-1 record into Columbia to take on the 5th-ranked South Carolina Gamecocks in their 11-1 ranking. Hello, everybody. I am Birch Antley, along with my broadcast partner, Khadijah Sessions. And Khadijah, this is going to be one holiday treat here in Columbia today as South Dakota, only one loss on the year. They are a team to watch, a hot team that could come in here and surprise the 5th-ranked Gamecocks.
Yes, they've been playing really great together this year. They've been led by Kiera Duffy. She's been playing excellent for them, really leading this team, and I think they're going to give South Carolina a really good run today.
Meanwhile, for South Carolina, they are on a hot streak as well, but the Coyotes, as you said, they are charged by Kiera Duffy, the senior who is the Summit League preseason player of the year, averaging 16.5 points, 5.5 rebounds, and 5.5 assists. That is a pretty good stat line right there.
She's an awesome player. She has NBA range. She can put it on the floor. She sets really good screens. She plays defense pretty well. She's going to be a really big problem for South Carolina if they don't find her early.
And so is Hannah Shervin, another big-time post player. The transfer from New Mexico had 5 blocks in South Dakota's last game out. That was against Montana. She's averaging 12 points per game, 6 rebounds, and 2 blocked shots as well. So South Carolina, they're going to have to find a way in the post to contain Duffy and Shervin. Who could be the X factor for the Gamecocks? I think it's LeLe Grissett.
LeLe Grissett's been playing well for the Gamecocks. She's coming off the bench, giving energy, scoring the basketball, rebounding the basketball, defending, doing all the little things that the Gamecocks need for a bench person to come off and really, really play the game. She's doing it really well here today. She's going to be the X factor, hopefully, for the Gamecocks.
And meanwhile, Zaya Cook, the young freshman, boy, what a job she has done in the progression that she has made. 7 games with 10 or more points, 13 points per game she averages, and she really is the spark plug that can not only get that team hot on the floor, but she can just light up this gym.
To me, she's one of the most talented offensive freshmen in the country. She's very explosive, can get to the basket, and she's a really good defender. So I'm excited to see what she's going to do here today against the Coyotes.
It's a lie on Boston for South Carolina that controls the opening tip, and we are underway. South Carolina in the white, the Coyotes of South Dakota in the red. Ranked for the first time this season in the Associated Press poll, coming in at number 25. Three-pointer, too hard off the rim. Big rebound by Kiki Herbert-Harrigan. Back to Ty Harris now. Kick out Bree Bill, right side. Short on the 3. Rebound goes to South Dakota into the hands of Monica Ahrens, number 11, the junior from Crofton, Nebraska.
South Dakota has to make sure they limit the production of South Carolina on the rebounding stat, because South Carolina is a really good rebounding team and South Dakota isn't so much of a rebounding team, but they have to make sure they limit South Carolina to 1 shot on the offensive end.
Harassed by Ty Harris. Now working inside. McKeever, shot clock at 4. Down to 3. And there is that defense for South Carolina that can just smother you and cause all kinds of problems on the perimeter game, forcing you to take a shot you really don't want to as the shot clock expires.
South Carolina does a really good job at pressuring the point guards and denying the passing lanes. It's a great heads-up play.
South Dakota with the basketball. No score here in Columbia, just underway. Penetration, but too strong. And it's Boston that clears it away for the Gamecocks. Here's Ty Harris. Kiki Herbert-Harrigan. How about that move by Kiki Herbert-Harrigan? And you can just tell the look on her face right now. It seems that Kiki knows what her role is going to have to be today and that she's got it dialed in as far as that game face goes.
Kiki has to be aggressive. She did a really good job there of putting the ball on the floor and attacking South Dakota's big man.
Little jumper, that was smooth, nicely done there by Chloe Lamb, averaging 10 points per game, the junior from Oneida, South Dakota. South Dakota with 4 of their 5 starters, Khadijah, that average in double-figure scoring. Madison McKeever just below 10 at 9 points per game.
They do a really good job at just playing well together. They shoot the ball. They know where their shots are coming from. They do a really good job at just running their offense and just getting shots within their offense and not really forcing anything on the offensive end.
Coyotes forcing a pair of Gamecock turnovers here early in this contest. South Dakota this season almost 50% shooting from floor and 44% nearly from three-point land. 10th in the country in scoring offense at 82.4 per game. They lead South Carolina by 3, 5-2. Possession arrow favoring the Coyotes. Kira Duffy, the senior out of Rapid City, South Dakota. Foul is on Hannah Shervin. That's her first. 26 blocks on the season for Shervin. You see her coming out, trying to run that, set up that screen there for Duffy. Got into Bree Bill.
Did you see Kira Duffy running the point guard? But she comes from the post position, running the point guard position. She shoots for the South Dakota team. She can put the ball on the floor. She's a very versatile player. So I'm very excited to see this Kiki Herbert-Harrigan matchup with her today.
Bree Bill dropping the dime to tie this game at 5.
It's a really great shot by Bree Bill. She has to do a lot more of that, hitting shots and making three-point shots to stretch the defense out.
Averaging nearly 7 points per game as we look at the numbers for South Carolina this season. And how about that defense? They lead the country in block shots, nearly 9, right at 9 block shots per game. Second in the country in field goal defense and third in rebounds. And that defense was on display against Duke as they really shut the Blue Devils down here in Columbia earlier in the week. There's Aaliyah Boston.
Aaliyah does a really good job at timing up her opponent's shots. So sometimes they may look like fouls, but that was a really good timing block for Aaliyah Boston.
Aaliyah Boston, who was featured this week, if you happen to notice, in Sports Illustrated.
She's actually going up against another really good shot blocker. She's 15th in the nation with 26 shot blocks this season.
Shot clock at 2, long distance 3. Not there. A prayer was thrown up by Monica Aaron, South Carolina basketball. Good cross-court pass from Harris to Zaya Cook. Madison McKeever whistled for her first foul. Second team foul against the Coyotes. 30 on the shot clock for Carolina as we look over at the bench for South Dakota, and fourth-year head coach Dawn Plitzowitz showing her holiday cheer. Look at that move there by Zaya Cook. Ty Harris knew exactly where she wanted to go on the inbounds trigger. Gamecocks leading by 2, 7-5. Monica Ahrens being guarded outside by Herbert-Harrigan. Boston comes in to help and got in just in time to kind of alter that shot. Carolina basketball with the lead.
Carolina's doing a great job at making South Dakota go really deep into their offense.
Boston loses the handle, going in strong on Taylor Frederick, number 15. South Carolina head coach Dawn Staley not only showing her Christmas spirit, but you know she's going to try to represent Philadelphia Eagles any way she possibly can.
Yeah, she looks good over there. I think Coach Boyer has the best Christmas sweater.
She's got the best of it all.
Of it all in the whole entire arena.
Shot clock at 10. Three-pointers buried for South Dakota as they reclaim the lead. .507 remaining here in the first as Boston will go to the line. Featured in Sports Illustrated this week as it was the anniversary of her first feature when she was just 14 years old. As part of the Sports Illustrated Faces in the Crowd series. Boston averaging 13 points per game, and at the free throw line, a good shooter at 72%. Hits both on this trip. And the Gamecocks back on top by 1, 9-8 score.
South Carolina's doing a really good job at getting through all the down screens, back screens that South Dakota has in their offense. And they happen to play deep into their offense. South Carolina's doing a really good job at making sure they're getting through all the screens.
Duffy. There's Boston. Gets a piece of it, but also gets a piece.
That's her second block of tonight.
9-8, Gamecocks out with the lead early in this game. 4:41 remaining here in the first. Welcome back to Columbia, South Carolina. Well, we've got all kinds of duds on display. It's the, they say ugly holiday sweater. I don't think any holiday sweater is ugly. It's just in the eyes of the beholder. And there is Lisa Boyer and all of the Gamecock coaching staff and support staff. And Dawn Staley right in the middle of it all. Looks like the Griswold family Christmas tree.
She's repping her Philadelphia Eagles. She loves the Philadelphia Eagles. They have a big game today against the Cowboys.
Shot clock at 3. Dribbles down to 1. And this is the 4th time that South Carolina has forced South Dakota into a desperation shot as the clock goes down. Bree Bill fighting underneath, and Bree Bill.
Really big guard, really physical. Can do exactly what she did. She's a slasher. She can get to the basket, get you an offensive rebound, and put it back. She's about, I would say, 6'1". She's a pretty big guard. She's doing a really good job here early for the Gamecocks.
Bree Bill whistled for her first foul. And Beal started the season a little slowly just as far as the shooting numbers were concerned. Took her a while to adjust to the style of college basketball, and the shots that she was taking, I just don't think sometimes were the ones that she wanted to take. She was just forced into taking some of them, but it never really bothered her, and she has gotten better and better each and every game. And there is Duffy inside.
Sometimes, coming from high school, being an All-American player, you don't know, what to really expect coming into college and how you're going to find your spots. And I think Bree Bill, she did a really good job at just not forcing anything early on, continuing to hustle and give Coach Staley exactly what she expected. Just a solid defender, a big presence, rebounds. She's doing a really good job. So I think, now she's getting herself into the flow of the game. You're going to see her score a lot more in the SEC.
South Carolina fans a little unhappy there that Zia Cook was the one that was whistled for the foul.
I think Coach Staley wanted an offensive foul on that play right there.
I think the fans did as well. We'll take another look here. Oh, that's a push-off right there, no doubt, by Madison McKeever. Carolina ahead by 3. Duffy, straightaway 3. Rebound, Shervin.
And that's what South Dakota has to do. They have to get offensive rebounds and get themselves extra possessions on the floor, because the Gamecocks defense is really hounding them right now, and they're doing a really good job in their sets.
Victoria Saxton with the board for the Gamecocks, ahead to Ty Harris. Whips it over Destiny Henderson. She'll dial up the 3, and it's Destiny Henderson knocking it down here in Columbia.
And here comes your 2 X factors off the bench, Destiny Henderson and LeLe Grissett. They both are high-energy defenders, and they're going to give you points on the offensive end. So there also can be starters. So South Carolina has a really deep bench.
Knocked away by Ty Harris. Out of bounds, the shot clock showing 8, 16-10 Gamecocks. Good issue this bench that Dawn Staley has. You know, every player pretty much coming off the bench could be a starter anywhere in the country.
Correct.
And when you have McDonald's All-Americans coming off the bench, it's quite a luxury.
Quite a luxury. And then, you know, they're just bringing the energy that you need defensively and the experience. They bring in the experience off the bench. You come off with your junior post play, 2 junior guards. So they're coming off with experience, starting the game off with, you know, freshmen. So I think South Carolina has a really good system going on here.
Henderson, pump fake. Slapped out of bounds. Remains with the Gamecocks with 2:27 on the clock, 16-10 lead for Carolina. Dawn Plitzowitz in her 4th year on the sidelines. 2-time Summit League Coach of the Year. Looking to repeat as Summit League champions. There's Grissett. Plitzowitz spent time as head coach at Grand Valley State before getting the nod to head to South Dakota. Anna Shervin on the foul. That's going to be her 2nd.
And, you know, we spoke about LeLe as one of our spotlight players of the game, speaking that she's an X factor. And right there she shows you that, you know, she transferred, you know, from a post player last year. Now she's a guard for a downstate in the Gamecocks. She shows you that she still has those post skills, can get down there and post up your post players and your small guards. And now she's converting on the free throw line.
Gets both. South Carolina perfect from the stripe early in this ball game as they extend the lead out to 8. Henderson knocks it away to Saxton. Saxton has it slapped out of her hands. Coming on is McKeever for South Dakota. Back onto the floor, the 5'6" senior, averaging 9 points per game from Erskine, Minnesota. Letitia Amihir, number 15 on the court for the Gamecocks. Saxton, big rebound. Saxton working inside, gets it in the drop. That's 4 points today for Saxton. Don't forget about Victaria Saxton. We talked so much about LeLe Grissett coming off the bench and the role that she can provide, but Saxton can do just the same.
Very athletic post player, very undersized, but can jump with the best of them.
Gamecocks on a
right there,
13-2 run.
Yeah.
Monica Ahrens showing good patience.
The Coyotes really needed that bucket. They went about 4 or 5 minutes without 3-4 minutes without scoring the basketball. South Carolina's been doing a really good job at containing the Coyotes in their offense. Really good offensive rebound there by Kira Duffy.
McKeever dishes it out. Chloe Lamb bangs out, and it's into Ty Harris's hands for Carolina. Gamecocks on the 8-point lead. Henderson for 3, not there.
It's a really good ball movement there by South Carolina, finding the best shot on the floor.
Partially blocked there by Letitia. I
think that's out of bounds off of the Coyotes' leg.
24 seconds on the shot clock, and it will be Gamecock basketball. Ty Harris will pull the trigger on the inbounds pass, and Lobs it to Saxton. Loses it momentarily, and that should be a foul whistled on number 15 for the Coyotes, Taylor Frederick.
And I think that puts South Carolina in the bonus.
Her second foul. So she will head to the bench, and that will bring in Janiyah Uguski from Harrisburg, South Dakota, the 5'11 freshman, number 30. As Amik here will go to the line. Season stats for Letitia, almost 4 points per game. Grissett there to collect the miss. Nicely done by Grissett. 4th point of the ball game for LeLe. 10-point lead for Carolina, largest of the ball game.
She's playing really well. She has to continue to play this well throughout this season. Going into the SEC season, having 2-3 people coming off the bench playing really well. She has to continue to play this type of basketball for downstate and the Gamecocks.
1.5 seconds on the clock and a foul committed. LeLe Grissett, no, it's going to be Amik here collecting her first. So Emma here will send Chloe Lamb to the line. This is the first. Lamb just over 10 points per game this season as an average, right below 4 rebounds per game. Ty Harris at the buzzer! Count it! Oh my goodness!
Wow! Oh, man.
From nearly the length of the court.
That's got to be SC top 10 right there, Burst. That's got to be SC
Racket.
top 10.
That could be one of the best shots of the year, as everybody here in the Colonial Life Arena on their feet. Take a look.
That's about 70, almost 70 feet right there. One arm, one leg.
Ty Harris dropping it right down the chimney,
net.
underneath the tree, as the Gamecocks.
What a quarterback. I don't know if a quarterback's going to throw that type of pass here today on Sunday football. Ty Harris for the touchdown.
The SEC Network will have you covered from Atlanta for the College Football Playoff Semifinal on Saturday, December 28th. We'll kick things off with SEC Nation pregame show at 2 Eastern, 1 Central. Then it's the LSU radio megacast of the game against Oklahoma. And we wrap up the day with our SEC Now postgame show with highlights, interviews, and a complete game breakdown. You can always watch it all on the ESPN app from anywhere. Here in Columbia, South Carolina, as we will begin the second with the Gamecocks leading. And let's take another look at how we ended the first, as Ty Harris at the buzzer, dropping it from long distance. A huge shot. LeLe Grissett will kick it out.
And get the offensive rebound.
Now to Ty Harris. Khadijah, you had one of those shots, a 70-footer.
Right, correct.
Against Kentucky one time.
Yep, that was my senior year. We were going into the fourth quarter. I think it was we were up by 1 point. Get a 70-foot shot, but I think that one beat me. That was a one-leg, one-arm toss. Definitely got to get that on SC Top 10.
How about the situational awareness by Ty Harris? And she knew exactly what was on the clock. 1.5 seconds. She was just going to have to take one step and throw. Jumper, Harris, too strong. Grissett tips it out to Henderson, who tips it back into the hands of Ty Harris. Inside, Grissett to Saxton. Now over to South Dakota.
That's LeLe's second offensive rebound in that same possession. Her energy does not go unnoticed.
4 turnovers for Carolina. The Gamecocks have put 9 players on the floor. 8 of those 9 have scored the basketball. Only 3 players have scored for South Dakota. Aarons with a bucket, 2 points for her, 6 points for Chloe Lamb, and 5 points for Kira Duffy. Meanwhile, for the Gamecocks, the only player that has touched the floor that has yet to score a basket, that is Emma here missing a pair of free throws.
That's special when you can have everybody come in and contribute on the offensive end. That's hard for coaches to scout.
And that depth that Carolina has, Khadijah, already on display in November and December. Think about what that does for a team in March and April. Having that depth going into the grind of the SEC and then in the postseason play.
Right. People don't understand how important it is to have a really good bench. It doesn't matter which league you're playing in. We could be talking about men's basketball, NBA, you name it. You have to have a solid bench, and South Carolina has that. They have the depth that you need for a national championship conversation. So we're going to see how things go in the postseason.
Foul whistled on Uguski, a freshman, as Kiki Herbert-Harrigan comes back on for the Gamecocks. Grissett and Amir here will take a seat. Bree Beal back on as well.
Great defensive position there by South Dakota.
Second foul on Zaya Cook. Good switch over there. Way to slide by Uguski. Slides over, gets her feet set against a player like Zaya Cook, who is so fast. Dropping it in off the hand, Madison McKeever. First bucket of the game for McKeever. Henderson in traffic. Waving it off, and she will travel. 6 turnovers now for Carolina. So not only does Dawn Staley have the benefit of having this deep bench and these freshmen in this class that comes into Carolina this season as the #1 ranked recruiting class in the country. A couple already have become big-time starters, as that will bounce into the hands of Saxton. But the schedule and the difficulty that Dawn Staley has initiated for this crowd, it's unbelievable the way that they can mature so quickly, and that's going to be a huge benefit as well going into the SEC play coming up in January. As Bree Bill there with 7 points now for Bree Bill, the freshman.
Sometimes you have to build your schedule like that, especially coming, saying that you had the #1 recruiting class in the country. You don't want to come out with a weak schedule and everybody say, oh, you beating weak teams. You want to have a really great, hard, non-conference schedule to get you prepared for what the SEC is going to get you ready for in the postseason.
Right side, too strong off that three-point try, and it's Herbert-Harrigan with another rebound. Kiki coming back onto the floor after taking a seat, and she's already got 2 big rebounds. Flying in there is Herbert-Harrigan.
South Dakota has to get something going on the offensive end. One of the 5 starters has to get something going on the offensive end to get them back into this game. They don't want to get so far away from South Carolina and in their home. On their home floor, excuse me.
So Herbert-Harrigan at the free throw line. One of 2 on this trip. Biggest lead of the ball game for the Gamecocks, 28-15, 7:12 to play before halftime. Both teams at 11-1, both teams ranked. South Dakota at 25, Carolina at #5.
Nice top 25 matchup before the holidays.
7 seconds on the shot clock, now down to 5. Excellent job there by Kira Duffy, the senior, showing why that she is the Summit League preseason player of the year. She got 7 points there.
She has to get going. She has to get this team going, put this team on her back, and really start putting some points on the board against South Carolina here in Columbia, South Carolina.
Back to the line will be Herbert-Harrigan. Foul number 2 on Uguski.
And this must have been South Carolina's game plan, is to attack South Dakota's bigs. I don't think Kiki Herbert-Harrigan is taking one jump shot all day today, and that's normally her basketball game, but today she's being aggressive, putting the ball on the basket, and they're getting extra possessions on the offensive rebounds as well. It's 10-4 on the offensive rebounding. South Carolina has 10, and South Dakota has 4 offensive rebounds, so South Carolina is really doing a really good job on the boards.
Herbert-Harrigan spins it in. It's 30-17 now. Gamecocks ahead. Duffy unable to get the fall as she had Beal on the front side and then Boston on the back side. Beal rebound.
That is Beal's 3rd offensive rebound of this basketball game. She's doing an excellent job. Her and LeLe Grissett are doing an excellent job of getting South Carolina extra possessions.
Duffy collecting her first foul of the ball game. At the line is Bree Beal. Beal with a shot that will spin in. She's got 8 points now. All 3 of her rebounds on the offensive side. Just 1 foul. Leading scorer for Carolina now is Bree Beal with 9 points as she knocks down both shots from the free throw line. It's 32-17 Gamecocks now. $12 points for the Gamecocks as far as second chance points goes. Offensive foul. Gamecock basketball, and it's Madison McKeever, the guilty party, her second time. She has been whistled for the personal foul.
I think she's gotten away with a couple offensive fouls, but that comes with the South Carolina's pressure. Their guards are really pressuring her, causing havoc on the defensive end.
Bill working with inside the Boston possession arrow, favoring South Dakota as a jump ball situation was determined by our officials today. Denise Brooks, Amy Bonner, and Carlina Tobin. Oh, nice pass. But unable to drop it was McKeever.
I think that's about their second or third missed layup here in the half. They have to convert on those baskets if they're trying to compete with the number 5 team in the country.
Look at Boston working hard, collecting her miss to drop it in for the bucket. Aaliyah with 4 points now, 3 rebounds.
I believe that's 13 offensive boards for South Carolina. South Dakota has to do a better job with boxing them out and limited them with 1 possession on the offensive end.
Lamb with a miss. Gamecocks looking to extend that lead out even more. Ty Harris finds the open door and drops it in with a layup. Largest lead of the game for Carolina, 36-17, 4.5 minutes to play until the break. Ty Harris, her second foul. We've got timeout on the floor here in Columbia, South Carolina. 4:20 remaining here in the second quarter. The Gamecocks out big over the Coyotes, 36-17. Stay with us. (36-17) here in Columbia, South Carolina. The 5th-ranked Gamecocks out to a big lead over the 25th-ranked Coyotes, and Bree Beal, the Gamecock freshman, has been working really hard underneath the basket as she sinks that three-pointer. Then below in the post, the guard just works so hard. She can really get it done off the glass. She's got 3 offensive rebounds. The leading scorer in this ball game right now with 9, Bree Beal. And the Gamecocks freshman class, 15 points today, 10 rebounds. impressive. They have been all season long. They continue to improve.
Breeze Bill, she's playing excellent right now. She's been solid. She's been the most consistent player for Coach Staley. Right now, she's giving more offensive presence for the South Carolina Gamecocks. So she's doing a really good job here today so far.
Duffy, the three over Grissett. It is defensive glass for the Gamecocks and Herbert-Harrigan. Destiny Henderson working left side.
Right now, South Carolina is really, really big. The smallest player on the floor right now is Destiny Henderson. Everybody else is over 6 foot right now, Bert. So South Carolina's going with their big lineup. Let's see how that works for them here.
South Carolina with 11 bench points, none so far for South Dakota. The Gamecocks 14 points off second chance. Yes, and then 18 points in the paint for Carolina, just 8 for South Dakota. Make it 10, as that's Hannah Shervin. 36-19. Gamecocks with Henderson, LeLe Grissett, Boston, Herbert-Harrigan, and Beal, the 5 on the floor. Duffy splits the defenders.
Really good awareness, really good pull-up by Kira Duffy.
9 points for Duffy. She has scored in double digits every game except one this season for the Coyotes. That was 2 games ago. Another good slide by South Dakota, as that's going to be an offensive foul on LeLe Grissett, her first. Zaya Cook back on the floor. Zaya Cook with a couple of personal fouls, but she's back on.
And that's pretty impressive to see Coach Staley's trusting in her freshman already with 2 fouls in the first half. That's pretty impressive, putting her in situations right now to see if she's going to be able to handle this with 2 fouls in the first half in the postseason. So I think that's pretty, good to see that she's trusting in her freshman point guard, Zaya Cook, to not pick up the 3rd foul.
Monica Ahrens with 4 points. She was able to get LeLe Grissett off of her feet, take a step ahead, and make the jumper. Elia Boston, like she took one in the eye a little bit there and had to rub it out. Dropped in by Chloe Lamb. Now South Dakota is starting to
heat up.
Indeed. As they're on a little run here, and Dawn Staley wants to stop this, and she will call timeout. 36-25. Carolina with the lead, but South Dakota and the Coyotes on an 8-0 run right now. Thursday, January 2nd is the start of women's basketball conference play, and we'll have complete coverage of every game that night as we whip around the conference, going to each game for the best action. You can also watch each game on the ESPN app, all starting at 7 Eastern, 6 Central, right here on the SEC Network. We've got Kentucky at South Carolina beginning at 7:06 here in Columbia, and then Georgia at Ole Miss at 7:45. Florida at Mississippi State, 10 after 8. Auburn at Vandy, 8:30. Alabama at LSU at 8:40. And then Texas A&M at Arkansas at 9:05 is that tip-off. And that is going to be one heck of a night, as we will go all over the conference. Eight seconds on the shot clock. Jumper there for Zaya Cook as she hangs for her 4th point.
Really, really good awareness right there by Zaya Cook. Nice 2-dribble pull-up, not forcing it into the defense.
Puts an end to that South Dakota run. 1.5 minutes on the clock until halftime. 38-25. Lamb is there. Oneida, South Dakota native, averaging 10 points per game.
I believe she already has about 8 tonight.
She's at 10 right now, so she's at her average.
South Carolina is up by 11 right now, but they have to do a better job with taking care of the ball and really valuing the possession on the offensive end.
Coming up on a minute to play. Too short there on the three-point try, and it's LeLe Grissett over to Beal. Lamb with the rebound, but it's back into the hands of South Carolina as it was lost out of bounds. So it'll be Gamecock basketball with 46 seconds remaining here in the first half. Second quarter. Megan Bonar coming on for the first time, the 6'2 senior from Gardner, Kansas, number 20. Zia Cook to Beal. Beal, too strong. Into the hands of LeLe Grissett, and she will drop it back up for Carolina. LeLe Grissett gets it to kiss off the glass, and it's 40-27 Gamecocks now as we go to 30 seconds remaining. Duffy being guarded by Grissett. There's the runner from Madison McKeever. That's the second time that Duffy has found McKeever slashing to the basket.
I think South Dakota's doing a really good job at, seeing all the pressure from South Carolina, but also continue to make basket cuts, continuing to put their heads down and go into the basket, and they're finding ways to score on this South Carolina's tough defense.
And just before the buzzer sounds, Zia Cook with the basket. South Carolina had led by as many as 19. South Dakota got a run going to cut it into a much smaller lead, but it's still a big one. 42-29. Gamecocks with the advantage as we go to halftime here in Columbia. The 25th ranked Coyotes of South Dakota out of the Summit League visiting Columbia, South Carolina, taking on the 5th ranked Gamecocks out of the SEC. It is 42-29. Carolina with the lead. Here at halftime, Birch Entley, Khadijah Sessions with you. Happy holidays, everybody. And South Carolina and South Dakota in the last game here at Colonial Life Arena in the decade, as we're just a week away from 2020. And we'll take a look at the first half statistics, and South Carolina really making the difference on the glass, as we'll see Khadijah Sessions, the rebounding numbers for South Carolina a little lopsided over South Dakota, and that's playing a huge difference in this game.
They have to start limiting South Carolina's second chance points. You can't give the number 5 team in the country more than one possession in their home, on their home court. You have to limit that, and you also have to convert on the offensive end. You have to put baskets in the points on the board here in Columbia, South Carolina. 16
second chance points for Carolina, none for South Dakota. 13 bench points for the Gamecocks, none for the Coyotes. 8 of 9 players have scored the basketball for Carolina that have touched the floor. Chloe Lamb, 10 points to lead the Coyotes. Bree Beal with 9. She's leading the Gamecocks in scoring. 4 rebounds. 3 of those have been on the offensive side. There's those rebounding numbers. Carolina 13-4 as far as the offensive rebounds go. 16-7 as far as defensive numbers go. So South Carolina out-rebounding the Coyotes right now by 18. And there, those second chance points, that is a biggie. 16 for the Gamecocks, none right now for South Dakota. Khadijah, second half, that's got to change if you are the Coyotes.
I think the South Dakota, if they play like they played the last 3 minutes in the second quarter, they're going to be just fine in the second half here against South Carolina. They have to continue to put pressure on South Carolina's defense by scoring the basket, making cuts to the basket, because South Carolina's putting so much pressure on their guards. They have to continue to make basket cuts and curl cuts off their down screens. And I think this, in the second quarter, they're kind of seeing how they can be effective with South Carolina's defense.
Chloe Lamb and the South Dakota Coyotes will look to make a change in the second half. They'll have to if they want to come away with the upset here in Columbia, where it's the Gamecocks ahead 42-29. Second half starting when we return. South Carolina to begin the second half in possession. Gamecocks in the white, South Dakota in the red. The Gamecocks attacking the goal to the left of your screen.
Turnover to start the half is not what you want to see coming out of halftime if you're Coach Staley and the Gamecocks.
Especially the way you ended the first quarter in the second quarter.
Correct.
LeLe, the left-handed dribble. Knocked away, Zaya Cook. Fast break, Cook lays it in.
But that's what you want to come out of the halftime with on the defensive end. Continue to see your guards continue to press South Dakota's guards. Very good heads-up play there by your freshman phenom, Zaya Cook.
8 points today for Zaya. Here's Duffy. Backing in on Bree Bill. Now Boston comes in to help. Duffy with that step.
Great
able to lose Bree
footwork.
Bill, and she has 12 points now.
Great footwork there by Kira Duffy. The up and under move there.
Duffy, one of 8 children, 6 have played collegiately. It's an athletic family. Leah Boston whistled for her second foul. This will be her first, actually.
That foul came on Aaliyah Boston, but that started with Hannah with the block shot down there on the defensive end.
Hannah Shervin, the 6'3 junior, the transfer from New Mexico, from Rogers, Minnesota, decided to get a little closer to home. There is that foul that is whistled on Madison McKeever. That's her third. Gamecock fans, if you go back to the first half, she had one of those where she was trying to get separation, and it was actually whistled on the defender, and it was almost identical
to that
play. So a lot of Gamecock fans kind of shaking their heads saying she ought to have foul number 4. Good defensive move there by McKeever. Get the ball back. McKeever from Erskine, Minnesota.
I believe we have 4 turnovers, 2 on South Dakota side and 2 on South Carolina side to start this second half here for both teams.
Zaya Cook dropping the 3 on the kick out. What an assist there by Ty Harris. As Ty Harris with the drive and then just kicking it out right wing to an open Zaya Cook. 3 assists today for Harris, and now Zaya Cook in double-digit scoring. Rebound, Kiki Herbert-Harrigan.
Ty Harris does a really good job when she's in the open floor finding her teammates and making the right basketball play.
There's Duffy. Kiki Herbert-Harrigan.
And you see South Dakota coming out trying to be more aggressive, trying to go after the rebounds. I'm sure they went into the locker room looking at the rebounding column and saying, we have to tighten up and get more rebounds.
Boston draws a double team.
Really, really good double team there by South Dakota.
Turnover Gamecocks as officials
want to say
travel on Boston.
It's like South Carolina's 3rd turnover coming out of halftime out of, I believe, 6 possessions. They have to do a better job at just taking care of the ball and getting more shots at the basket if they want to keep South Dakota out of range of coming back in this basketball game.
Lamb weaves around Harris. Now Harris back to pick Lamb again. 15 seconds on the shot clock. And we've got a whistle away from the basketball.
This is Hannah and Aaliyah Boston down there just battling for positions. 2 really good post players just battling for position right there.
Taylor Frederick will come on as Hannah Shervin will take a break. Hand off to Duffy. Bree Bill on defense. Duffy in and out. Bree Bill with the rebound. 47-33. Gamecocks with the lead and the basketball. South Dakota led by 3 points after the first minute of play, and then the Gamecocks started to move away once they took the lead. They had a lead by as many as 19 in the first half.
That was the NBA range I was talking about right there, Bert, in the beginning of the game. Kira Duffy really has long range to her game.
Monica Ahrens gets the lay-in. Ahrens with 6 points, 47-33 Gamecocks, 6:07 to play, just underway here in the third. Kiki Herbert-Harrigan.
I love the way South Dakota's can't come out of to this second half ball game on the defensive end. They're really, really challenging South Carolina on both ends of the floor. I really love how they can come out of the halftime into the second half.
Second half, South Dakota out rebounding the Gamecocks right now 5-2, and Gamecocks with 4 turnovers.
Really good heads-up play right there, knowing that you're going up against a shot blocker, Kiki Herbert-Harrigan, giving her the pump fake, leaning your body in and selling and getting a foul call, and hopefully getting 2 more points for your basketball team.
Now Kiki will have to come off the floor with 3 personal fouls, Kiki Herbert-Harrigan. So Victoria Saxton will take her place. At the line, Monica Ahrens.
South Dakota's not going anywhere, Burks. They're not going anywhere. They continue to put South Carolina on their heels, putting their head down and going to the basket and trying to get themselves to the foul line. So I like their game plan coming out of halftime so far here.
Boston off the miss on the free throw try by Ahrens. It's Gamecock basketball, leading by 11. Harris, Cook, Saxton, Boston, and Grissett, the 5 on the floor in white for Carolina. There's a jumper again for Zaya Cook. She's starting to warm up with that jump shot. She's got 13 points right now.
That's the same thing she did in their last game, Bert. She goes in, she comes in the second half, and I guess, being a freshman, you got to see how you can score in the first half. Sometimes you got to let the game flow and go. Zaya Cook's doing an excellent job here again in the second half by being aggressive on the offensive end.
Shot clock will drop below 10. Turnaround is good by Kira Duffy, and Duffy now with 13 points.
I mean, she plays all over the floor. She plays point guard, post player. She can just about do it all. She has a really good touch around the basket.
Boston is going to be fouled.
Boston's been quiet here tonight. I think South Dakota's been doing a really good job with containing Leah Boston here tonight. But there, she got position, she got a good play, got an offensive rebound, and she's got herself headed to the line for 2.
Gamecocks by 11. Stay with us. We got a timeout here in Columbia. Now that is how you do the holidays right there. Good job.
Santa Claus came early.
That way as well. And everybody here at the Colonial Life Arena into the spirit. And it began earlier in the week with Dawn Staley and the Gamecocks issuing the call saying, hey, we're going to have a teddy bear drop here at the Colonial Life Arena against Duke at halftime. And that was a scene to behold as the teddy bears were coming from everywhere. And I'm not talking about just small ones, Khadijah. You were here. These were teddy bears the size of Alaska Grizzlies almost. And
gigantic bears.
Brand new ones. As a matter of fact, there's so many. They're all going to be given to charity and to help make dreams come true for children that just need a little pat on the back here. And it is a big deal that Dawn Staley encourages not only her team but really the entire community to give as much as they get. And she's got that inner soul foundation of hers, but that was just a magical moment to watch against Duke at halftime as the floor was just flooded with teddy bears coming from all over the place. Frederick backing in on Boston. She'll have to kick it out. And it's Boston with a defensive rebound. 5 defensive boards now for Boston as Ty Harris drops it in.
And I believe she gets that like once or twice a game, Burke. She just pushes the ball down, gets into her sweet spot, which is around the 15-foot range, and she's going to knock it down.
South Dakota had cut that Gamecock lead into single digits for the first time. This is the first quarter, but now the Gamecocks back on. We've seen a lot of bodies falling down today in this game. 7 seconds on the shot clock, now 5 as Lamb's bottled up. Now 3 seconds. Travel, whistled on Lamb.
A lot of bodies flying, maybe trying to just fight through South Dakota's screens. They have screens literally coming from all angles and all spots on the floor.
53-38. Don Plitzowitz in her 4th year, head coach for South Dakota, winning the Summit League last season. Summit League Coach of the Year. Looking to repeat this season, and they've got a number 25 ranking in one poll. In the coaches poll, they're number 21. That's going to be another foul on Taylor Frederick, number 3. She and Madison McKeever, just saw McKeever, number 23, with 3 fouls each. On the bench for Carolina with 3 fouls is Kiki Herbert-Harrigan. Back on the floor, Hannah Shervin, the 6'3" post player, transfer from New Mexico, seeing if she can make a difference with Herbert-Harrigan on the bench right now. And Hannah Shervin picks up her 3rd. So Victoria Saxton will go to the line. .45% free throw shooter, 10 of 22 is Victoria. Coming into this game as Boston will take a seat. Gamecocks 11 of 14 at the free throw line. Boston 6.6 rebounds. This will be a foul underneath. Number 11, Monica Ahrens, her 2nd. 5th team foul. So Grissett, LeLe Grissett at the line for the Gamecocks. 57% free throw shooter is LeLe, 12 of 21 coming into this ballgame. 2 of 2 here today, make it 3 of 3 for LeLe Grissett.
It's a high energy play. You got to make sure you box her out. She's not going to stop giving 2nd and 3rd efforts trying to get that rebound. And that's where you got that box out foul off the free throw line.
Chloe Lamb grabs it for South Dakota on the backhand miss by Grissett. McKeever whips it over to Ahrens. Ahrens on the baseline. Saxton is there for the Gamecocks. South Dakota turns the ball over. 10 turnovers in this ball game. 54-38. Gamecock lead. Ty Harris, senior leader, over 1,000 points in her career. Grissett collects her miss. Second chance is there and sent her to the line.
Again, another offensive rebound, 2nd chance point. She knew she was going to miss that. Gets her offensive rebound, gets in that one and puts it back in. Right here, pump fake, gets her own rebound, goes up strong. Think the team's going to have to do a better job of knowing where LeLe Grissett is on the basketball floor.
So 2 quick fouls on Hannah Shervin here in the 3rd quarter. Sends her away with 4. So that could be somewhat of an equalizer because the Gamecocks have Kiki Herbert-Harrigan on the bench with 3, and that could be a difference maker inside where the Gamecocks have been so dominant already. We've got a stoppage. Timeout on the floor. Kiki Herbert-Harrigan, a senior for Carolina, on the bench with 3 fouls. So South Carolina, with Boston taking a break as well, going to that formation that's a little smaller, quicker, but they can also grab boards as well, especially the way Bria Bill works inside.
Right, she's a big guard, she's a big presence, and she's going to give 2nd and 3rd chances to get that offensive board. Just as well as LeLe Grissett. As you see here, she's being really aggressive, trying to go after those offensive boards.
Boy, look at the fire right there. Dawn Plitzowitz. She's got 3 players in foul trouble right now. Shervin has 4, McKeever 3, and Frederick 3. And Don Plitzwitz.
I think I'd be upset too, Birch. I mean, you cut the lead down to 5, and now you look up again, and you're almost down by 20. Your team has to do a better job with boxing out and stop giving South Carolina second chance points. It's not going to work if you're trying to chop down this lead.
56-38 Gamecocks. South Dakota early in the third had cut the Gamecocks lead from double digits down to single, but then Carolina went on a micro run to get back into double digits. South Dakota, their upcoming schedule looking like this: at Western Illinois to finish the year, and then it will begin 2020 on the road at Purdue-Fort Wayne. Then it will continue a road trip into Colorado at Denver, and then into Nebraska at Oklahoma, and then it just gets longer and longer at North Dakota State on January 16th. So South Dakota doesn't come easy for them as far as travel goes, but Don Plitzwitz has said that's a way that you can really find out who your team is going to be, and you find out even more about your team's chemistry, and that can be so important moving into not only conference play, but into March and April, looking into postseason play. Cocky and DJ Puff mixing it up as DJ Puff says, "Hey, Cocky, why don't you come over and spin for me?" DJ Puff, one of the best in the business.
Asia Wilson's brother.
Indeed, and Asia Wilson has always said, I'm DJ Puff's sister. Look at that big board and put back there by Victoria Sexton.
I mean, she just goes up. She's almost at the rim when she goes up and get her rebound. She's an undersized post player, but I guarantee you she probably can jump with your tallest post player on your basketball team. Again, just doing a really good job of getting 2 and 3 efforts. And that's what you need right there. That's the first 2 points there for Kiera Duffy. Oh, this her second 2 points in the half for Kiera Duffy. She has to get going. She has to get going fast if she wants to cut down this lead.
And it's going to be LeLe Grissett. Again, Duffy got her off her feet, and then LeLe committing the foul. 15 points for Duffy, so a chance to complete the three-point play. This is the free throw. Here it's Sexton, LeLe Grissett, Ty Harris, Ty Cook. 5 on the floor for Carolina. Sexton was looking to drop one down to Grissett. Turnover Gamecocks, 15 now for South Carolina. And Khadijah, that's something that really shocked you when you were taking a look a little closer at the numbers as far as turnovers go. And you're a little surprised that South Carolina has such a big lead with the amount of turnovers that they have committed, and then you look at the rebounding that South Carolina has and the advantage over South Dakota, the bench points, the second chance points. You would think that it might go the other way. Yeah,
I mean, South Carolina's out-rebounding South Dakota with almost 20 rebounds. They're almost out-rebounding them, but now I think, South Dakota now has more turnovers, but that column was really shocking to me because if you're going to have turn South Carolina over so much, you have to convert on your turnovers, on South Carolina's turnovers, excuse me.
Ty Harris with a rebound on the run. Ty Harris kicks it into another gear. And now it is Kiera Duffy. Bodies on the floor again. Jump ball situation. Possession arrow goes to the Coyotes. So Zion Cook will head to the bench. She'll get a break. Destiny Henderson on for Carolina. She had a big three-pointer
A sub for a sub. I think those two players are really almost identical. Just one is older than the other. Both very aggressive defensively and offensively, can score with the best of them.
First foul whistled on Destiny Henderson. Gamecocks with an 18-point lead. Destiny Henderson, one of the better three-point shooters for South Carolina, especially coming off the bench.
Not only that, she's probably one of the, if not the best on-ball defender that South Carolina has.
Too strong. Chloe Lamb, 5'10" junior from Anata, South Dakota. Chloe averaging 10 points per game, nearly 4 rebounds, and she had 10 points in the first half, and not so much here in the second. No, just 1 point. That was that free throw right there. Set, working it down low to Saxton, and Gamecocks will lose it out of bounds. South Dakota basketball. Gamecocks trying to set up that perimeter defense in the first half was really causing some problems at times. And South Dakota having to be put into a situation in that first half where they were putting up a shot that was a low percentage try as the shot clock had gone to 2 or 1. Second foul on number 15, Letitia I'm here, and 6'3" redshirt freshman out of Ontario, Canada. Puts McKeever on the line. South Dakota struggling here in the second half with the free throws. 3 of 8.
And I believe the coach seen that. She had her head down knowing that her team is leaving points out there on the floor.
Now 4 of 9 in this game at the free throw line. Under a minute to play here in the third quarter. Carolina with the basketball and the lead. Go under 10 here on the shot clock. Henderson, a nice pass, firing it into Saxton.
Great pass there by Destiny Henderson. Great roll by Victoria Saxton to pick up that foul. If she wasn't in a restricted area, that possibly could have been a charge.
Third foul instead on Monica Ahrens. South Dakota had done so well in the first half, getting over in situations like that to draw the offensive foul. But not this time, as Saxton is at the line. She hits both. 8 points for Victoria. 8 out of 9 Gamecocks that have been on the floor have scored the basketball. Aaron's nowhere to go. McKeever underneath draws a double team. Now Frederick for the three-pointer, and Henderson gets the defensive board for Carolina. Under 10 seconds to play here in the third. Carolina ending the first quarter and the second with the basketball and the points. And they will drop it there to continue that trend. So the Carolina Gamecocks
3 quarters ending with a buzzer. Made basket for South Carolina.
The lead is back to 20. Stay with us. Fourth quarter action when we return. Thursday, January 2nd is the start of women's basketball conference play, and we have complete coverage of every single game that night as we whip around the conference, going to each game for the best action. You can also watch each game on the ESPN app from anywhere. It all starts at 7 Eastern, 6 Central, right here on the SEC Network. It's Kentucky at South Carolina, then Georgia at Ole Miss, Florida at Mississippi State, Auburn at Vanderbilt, Alabama at LSU, and Texas A&M at Arkansas, all beginning at 7 Eastern. That's Thursday, January 2nd. We begin the fourth here in Columbia, South Carolina. I am Bert Chantley along with Khadijah Sessions and the Gamecocks. Khadijah, how about that? The senior Ty Harris ending the first quarter with that Sports Center top 10 contender, the long distance shot at the buzzer, almost a full court shot. And then the Gamecocks in the second quarter with Zaya Cook inside with a little lay in, and then they end the third. LeLe Grissett really got that play going, and South Carolina dropping one again to end a quarter. Not only with the points, but with the lead. It is 20 right now for Carolina. McKeever, she's got 3 fouls. Remains on the floor. Runs into traffic, and we'll have to give way to Monica Ahrens. Ahrens able to beat her defender to the bucket. She's got 9. Bree Bill, a little out of control there. Standing her ground is Lamb. Second foul whistled on Bree Bill. All the talk, is going to center around, is when you look at South Dakota, it's going to center around Kira Duffy, and it should. But Lamb is one of those players that Duffy is going to get hers regardless.
Right.
But Lamb, what she can provide South Dakota could be a huge difference maker for the Coyotes. If she can continue the play that she has had here in Columbia on the road. LeLe Grissett with a jumper. She's got 11.
Most improved player right now. I thought it was going to be Victoria Saxton,
yes.
and it still is. Victoria Saxton been playing extremely well, exceptionally well, but I have to right now in the first half of South Carolina's conference, I have to give that to LeLe Grissett. And she also just the energy she gives, the second possession chance points that she gives South Carolina is amazing. Just watching her all day today, she's just giving a lot of energy to South Carolina's basketball team.
Another foul whistled on the Gamecocks. Second on the T-shirt. Miami here, the 6'3" redshirt freshman out of Ontario. McKeever over to Ahrens. Shot clock now under 10. Ahrens trying to get past Saxton. She does, and she'll go to the line.
One thing South Dakota is not is afraid of South Carolina's shot blocking ability, because they have not yet stopped trying to attack the basket.
This is a game right now that you look at the numbers, and neither team has been the Sultans of SWAT. Just 3 block shots each this entire game.
And I'm not sure if, Donce's going to come back and play Aaliyah Boston or Ty Harris, just the simple fact that they're up by almost 20 points. But this will be the first game Aaliyah Boston has not scored 10 points. Oh, I think I talked them up. I think they're walking. Yes. They're walking to the scorers table now.
You talked up Kiki Herbert-Harrigan as
well.
Yes,
I did.
You don't want it, because South Dakota is a team that can make a double-digit lead disappear in a flash of an eye. And Dawn Staley knows that. And she is not going to take any chances. Shot clock will go underneath 10. Destiny Henderson wanting the 3. Not there. LeLe Grissett
with another offensive rebound and a bucket.
Bucket, then the foul on Victoria Saxton, her 3rd. So Henderson, Bill, Saxton all come out. So does Destiny Henderson and For Carolina, Ty Harris, Zaya Cook, Elia Boston, Kiki Herbert-Harrigan back on. LeLe Grissett will stay. $16-point Gamecock lead, 7:17 remaining here in this game.
South Carolina now with, I think, about 28 second chance points. And that's been the difference of the basketball game right there, Birch. That's been a tremendous difference in the basketball game. And South Dakota has yet to answer and box them out on that end. Great three-point basket there for South Dakota.
5 points now for Hannah Sherman. 13-point lead. Boston, big rebound. Boston.
I mean, South Dakota is all over Boston. They're making sure when she touched the ball, they're double teaming her. And I think that's Elias Boston's third personal foul, which I know a lot of people, you know, watch the basketball games and don't understand. A charge is a turnover in the stat category. I'm not sure if that was a charge, but that was a good sell by South Dakota. So that's all you have to do is sell it to the officials, and I think she did a really good job of selling that to the officials just now.
And I think, you know, the way that Elia Boston reacted and also Dawn Staley, the way she reacted is nowhere to go there for Duffy. Now shot clock dips below 5. There's a block by Boston, and it creates a turnover. Cook forwards it to LeLe Grissett. Yeah, the way that, you know, she sold that Sherman to the officials, almost like that relative that you have that always sells you the fact that the fruitcake you got for Christmas is like a bicycle.
Zaya Cook is one of those players that's always going to get the crowd into it. She gets to steal there and spins off a defender. She almost, like I said, reminds me of Bianca Cuevas more when it comes to the oohs and the ahs here in Columbia, South Carolina.
So Aarons will go to the bench as LeLe Grissett is at the line. Free throw is good for LeLe.
She's now the leading scorer here today for South Carolina with 14 points and 6 rebounds and 1 assist.
6 points this quarter for LeLe Grissett. Well, Khadijah, you talked about it before tip-off as we opened up the broadcast, stressing the fact that you mentioned watch out for LeLe Grissett, that she could be the one that could.
And there she goes again, making a great play on the defensive end on the South Dakota's best player. Today she is the MVP of this basketball game on both ends of the floor. You can't deny what she brings to this basketball team. She may not be one of the people that you guys talk about, but I guarantee you after the first half of the season, you will talk about her and you will highlight her in the in the locker room when you're coming up against South Carolina.
And there she goes inside again on the assist from Boston. And LeLe Grissett
is having herself a day here before Christmas.
Duffy and Shervin, the top two for South Dakota now with 4 fouls each.
And another block shot there by Leah Boston.
Duffy gets it to fall over Herbert-Harrigan.
I really love Duffy's touch around the basket. When she gets around the basket, she knows exactly how hard she needs to shoot. She has the arc on the ball. Really great basketball player.
17 points for Duffy. Herbert-Harrigan to Ty Harris. There's a block for Hannah Sherman. Now Duffy with the lay-in. 19 points for Duffy.
Cuts it to 13. South Carolina has to watch out because South Dakota does a really good job at, you know, cutting into a lead. That's not a really good shot early on in the shot clock there for the freshman.
One probably Duffy wanted back as well in transition.
That 3 right there would have cut it to 10.
But with 4:25 John Plitzowitz and the Coyotes see themselves with a deficit of 13 on the road here in Columbia. 4:25 remaining. LeLe Grissett coming off the bench for Carolina, 6 of 8 shooting from the floor, 5 of 7 from the free throw line. She's got 17 points to lead the Gamecocks. Season high in scoring and rebounding for LeLe Grissett. Her career high is 22, and the most that LeLe has scored this season before this game, 10. That was her game high, or season high for the year, 10 points. She's got that better than 7 right now. And Khadijah Sessions, you highlighted her in the beginning of our broadcast, talking about Zia Cook, and then the difference that LeLe Grissett would make in this ball game.
And both of them right now are, leading South Carolina, leading scorers for South Carolina. Zia Cook has 13 on today, and LeLe Grissett with 17, and we still have 4 minutes of basketball left here before the break.
Kiki Herbert-Harrigan knocks down the jumper just inside the three-point line, and the senior with 7 points now. Duffy, too strong. 4 personal fouls for Duffy and for Hannah Shervin, but John Plitzowitz has to leave them on the floor. Is the depth and the bench play for South Dakota not at the position where she can afford to bring her 2 best players off right now, especially on the road against the 5th-ranked team in the country. Zia Cook showing her ball handling ability, and is Duffy able to come away with it?
They have to make sure they protect the three-point line, because South Dakota is a really great three-point shooting team. That's a great shot there.
That was Chloe Lamb. That may be her first point from the floor as far as the second half goes.
South Dakota's not going away. South Carolina has to know that, and they have to value the possession on the offensive end and take care of the basketball and make smart decisions.
72-59, Carolina with the lead and the ball. South Dakota into bonus. Grissett thought about it, decides to pass it off to Zia Cook. Now
she's hot. You got to try it. Even with the box out, Aaliyah Boston still got a hand on it. Such a great basketball player.
McKeever. Out to Duffy. 2:38 left in this ball game.
I think Duffy's doing a really good job of getting LeLe Grissett off the floor. She has to stay down on the defensive end against her, because she does a really good job at pump faking the defender and getting them off the floor.
3 fouls on LeLe Grissett now, the 6'2 junior out of Durham, North Carolina. We'll put Kira Duffy at the line.
If she makes this, she'll have 20 points on the night.
Uh-oh. She might also be giving away a big Christmas gift to these fans here at
Chick-fil-A sandwich. And no Christmas sandwich, Chick-fil-A sandwich for the Gamecocks and their fans. 20 points on the night for Kira Duffy. She's doing her part on the offensive end. She needs help from her teammates, and right now she's getting a little help from Chloe Lamb and Monica.
Boston continues to battle. Boston again. And she'll be fouled. Aliyah Boston.
I want to say that was a great offensive rebound by Aliyah Boston, but let's go back. If you rewind that play and see the replay, let's look at who really was in there getting it. LeLe Grissett, your MVP of this game, made that tip offensive board so Aaliyah can grab it so she can get an extra possession.
Boston, I think, starting to feel like she is
best players out with 5 fouls.
As Duffy disqualified from this game with 5 fouls, you're right. And I think Boston starting to feel like she is being picked on a little bit more than normal. But the maturity that freshman has, you would never think that this is her first year as a college star.
No, she plays like a vet. She's going to be great here for Dawn Staley and the Gamecocks.
So Kira Duffy, preseason Summit League Player of the Year, no longer in this ball game. She has fouled out. Good kick out there by LeLe Grissett, and then she'll direct traffic as well. Herbert-Harrigan inside to Boston, and it is denied by Hannah Shervin.
Shervin's doing a really excellent job on Aaliyah Boston,
especially
here today.
with 4 fouls. There is LeLe Grissett knifing into the passing lane, taking it away. LeLe looking for Zia Cook, and that's going to go to the Coyotes with 1:42 to play. The Gamecocks with a 13-point lead. 21 turnovers here today for Dawn Staley's Gamecocks. Shervin with 4 fouls, still continuing to play aggressively. And she knows that she cannot hold back right now, especially with Duffy out of this ballgame.
And that hurts South Dakota. Duffy, main player, plays all 5 positions. The heart of this basketball team, and to see her go down on their run here late is going to hurt South Dakota. So somebody else has to step up, like Chloe Lamb.
And she has today, no doubt. McKeever, but loses it. Herbert-Harrigan to LeLe Grissett. Pulled the string on it in a South Dakota basketball. Under a minute to play. Gamecocks ahead by 13. Kiki Herbert-Harrigan takes it away from McKeever. That's going to be 4 fouls now on Kiki Herbert-Harrigan. Madison McKeever was able to slide over, keep her position. 40 seconds to go. Carolina with the lead by 13. Air ball will go to the Gamecocks now with 31 seconds, and that should do it for Carolina. That should be enough tape on the package to go ahead and say, let's put the bow on top, as Weselek and Thompson will come on. And for South Dakota, Macy Gebert from Apple Valley, Minnesota, the 5'9" freshman. She will see the floor for the first time today, along with Reagan Sankey, number 14. Megan Bonar on. And Claudia Kunzer. And Kunzer will commit the foul on Ty Harris. (73-60). Carolina will go to 12-1, sending South Dakota to 11-2. And the Coyotes fought hard, but it was South Carolina with LeLe Grissett. The depth that Dawn Staley and the Gamecocks possess, outlasting South Dakota today. Duffy fouling out was a big difference maker. And South Carolina will begin SEC play when they begin 2020. Thursday, January 2nd, we'll have it for you on the SEC Network against the 14th ranked Kentucky Wildcats. That will be one to watch. South Carolina defeats South Dakota here today. They move to 12-1 on the season. For our entire crew here in Columbia, for my broadcast partner, Khadijah Sessions, I am Birch Antley, wishing you and yours a very happy holidays. From Columbia, South Carolina, we will talk to you next time. The 5th-ranked South Carolina Gamecocks take down the 25th-ranked Coyotes of South Dakota here in Columbia, 73-60. South Carolina moving to 12-1 on the season. Hello, everybody. I am Birch Antley, joined by Khadijah Sessions as we recap this game for you from the Colonial Life Arena in South Carolina. Finishes out 2019 in a big fashion. They will begin 2020 with SEC play coming into Columbia against Kentucky on January 2nd. This is a good way to head into that ball game with a big win of our ranked team. Great
way to go into the break. I think coming off the bench, you have LeLe Grissett with a great game here today. I think, you know, as a team, South Carolina feels great about going into the SEC season, so I want to see what they're going to do in the SEC season, but ending today with a great game against a really good team, South Dakota, here tonight.
Good way to start the holidays and the break for Don Staley and the Gamecocks, and we will look at our highlights from this ball game. And for South Carolina and South Dakota, it was the big names that were going to shine, and it was Duffy, Kira Duffy, the preseason Player of the Year in the Summit League. You know she's going to get hers, and she certainly did.
She played excellent here tonight, Birch. I mean, she didn't get a lot from her other teammates, but she played well here tonight, I believe she had 20 on tonight. Just great touch around the basket, great footwork, making plays on the defensive end and just taking it, going up against South Carolina shot blockers, making every possession count while she was in the basketball game here today.
Kira Duffy, 20 points, 5 rebounds. She would foul out of this ball game under 2 minutes to play. But how about LeLe Grissett coming off the bench? These sessions, you knew that she was going to be the one for Carolina that would be the player that would have the most impact today.
She was the X factor. I think you called it in the beginning. She was going to be the X factor, and she's been the X factor for South Carolina all season long, showing that she's a versatile player with hitting jump shots, getting South Carolina extra possessions, going from a guard to a post. Just an excellent game to go into the Christmas break for LeLe Grissett.
17 points and 6 rebounds for LeLe, both season highs, as Carolina shuts down South Dakota 73-60. It is Kentucky up next for the Gamecocks to begin 2020 and SEC play. For Khadijah Sessions in Columbia, I am Birch Antley.